You remember a game that's classic and years later it gets butchered on another port? Well, that's what happened with Tron the Arcade on the Xbox 360. Let's talk a little history first. In 1982, a movie named Tron came out and it was a big hit. The plot of the movie was a guy who's played by Jeff Bridges who gets sucked to a computer and fights for survival, allied with the computer program named Tron, as they're up against the evil computer program called the MCP. After the movie came out, a lot of games based on the movie came out to share the success. Most famous is the arcade game, and soon won the Coin-Operated Game of the Year award by Electronic Arts, and on January 10, 2008 was released on the Xbox 360, which is the port I'm playing. And since it's on the Xbox, you'd think it would be more fun and the controls even be better. Well, let's just find out. When you first start the game, you have 4 stages to pick, and you better hurry up and pick one because there's a time limit. When the time runs out, it picks the game for you. I know it's in the original game too, but why would there be a time limit on the menu screen? What, did some guy just stood there one time going, duh, where do I go? Anyway, let's talk about the games. The first one is the tanks. It's pretty simple, just kill the other tank before it kills you. You can also ricochet the bullets on the wall, which is cool. It's not that hard, but the big problem that ruins it is the control, which is the biggest problem in the entire game, and each game has its own problems with its controls. In the tank game, you move with the left analog stick, which is fine. You fire the cannon by using the right trigger, which is fine too, but seeing the cannon feels weird. You move it by using the right analog stick, which is a good choice, but it doesn't feel great. You think you can just circle with the analog stick and move it, but no, you have to point it left or right to get where you want it to be. That's so stupid. Why can't you just turn the analog stick where you want it to go? That's crazy. The next stage is the MCP cone. All you have to do is just shoot all the color blocks and reach the top without dying. And the controls are the same as in the tank game, so there's nothing much to go over. So, next game. The next game is the flash and circle game. All you have to do is just reach the center of the circle without getting killed by spiders, which multiply every second. It's pretty easy in my opinion, and the controls are the same thing as in the other games. So, next. The final game is the light cycles, which is the most famous and hardest of the games. The goal of the game is to destroy the other light cycle by outsmarting him and let him hit the wall, your own line, or his own line. To steer, you have to use the left analog stick, but it doesn't really go fast unless you press the right trigger, which makes you go fast, and that's the biggest problem with the controls because once you go fast, it's very hard to steer where you're going. Crap! Alright, let's try this again. Alright, let's go to crap! Alright, let's do this again. Alright, let's go. Alright, go right. Alright, sweet. Alright, go left. Alright, screw you!
Oh, come on!
I know it's trying to make it feel like the arcade and have that trigger thing, but here it's just weird. After you beat all the levels, it pretty much repeats the same games over and over, but gets harder and harder. For example, the tank and light cycles have more tanks and light cycles to beat, which is unfair because there's like 2 or 3 of them and 1 of you. There's also multiplayer, which sounds cool, but don't even bother checking matchmaking because there's nobody playing. Unless you bring a friend over, then have fun. Another thing that I forgot to mention is that if you go to the help and options, you can change the controls. But even if you do, the control still sucks, so it won't really help you that much. Also, when you go to the settings, you can change how many lives you can start with, the difficulty, and the graphic, which is cool. But if you want to show your high score, then you can't change the settings, so sucks.
In conclusion, it's not as bad as it make it out to be in the beginning, and you might like it once you get used to the controls. But in my opinion, the controls just ruin the game and make the game entirely hard for me. Well, that's my first review. Hope you like it. Please subscribe and give me the thumbs up. And until my next review, see you next time.